Today I'm in Surprise, Arizona, checking out this super awesome, affordable, keyword affordable neighborhood, and you guys are not gonna wanna miss it. We have a 2,600 square foot home for under 500, actually 475, with $50,000 towards incentives. And then you're also gonna have another 2-story that's gonna be right around 450, and you'll even have some options under 400 in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, starting out front with our first home, this is the single story option. It is right under 1,900 square feet, 3 to 4 bedroom option. I believe the model has 4 bedrooms with a 2-car garage, 2 bathrooms, and it has a 2.5 bath option as well. So right when you walk in, I believe these are probably gonna be 9-foot ceilings. Going in on the right-hand side, just like a very similar layout that you're gonna see a lot, you're gonna have your front bedroom. This is a really good sized bedroom. This is probably a queen, and it's kind of sideways. So you could lay this out a little bit differently if you wanted to. Lots of natural light in here. There's gonna be some upgrades in here that are not necessarily included, but they do mainly do spec homes. So they don't go crazy on the model upgrades. So I'll point out some of the things that may or may not be included in a spec home that they're selling. One of those things is going to be the additional recessed lighting that you see here. Also, it's not going to have any light fixtures included in it typically as well. You're just going to have your standard 2-door sliding closet. This one does have 6 feet and 7-inch doors here. They may have the option to have a couple of their specs with 8-foot doors. And then it also has the chrome. I'll pop up on the screen so you guys can see the different style options that this has. They have packages for their floor plans. So they have about 6 packages that you can pick from, or that their spec homes would have already. This is going to be super standard, so that's always nice to see, just again, to see what you can get. Here is double sinks, executive height cabinets, which I really like because it's just a little bit taller and it makes it a little bit nicer. And then also for the flooring that you guys see here, this is pretty standard in majority of their spec homes. So that's nice. It's like a wood-like tile. Here is a coat closet. Also, I like that they have the squared off edges here. It's a little bit more modern. And then the more modern baseboards and the trim around the doors. Not super tall, but I think it just adds. On the left-hand side of the hallway, we have our laundry room. This laundry room is not connected to the garage, so that's kind of nice. And then you have some upgraded upper cabinets as well as this portion. Washer, dryer, fridge, and blinds are gonna be those items that could be negotiable. Here's our next space. This could be changed into a 4th bedroom if you wanted it to. Right now they have it as a den space. You could probably opt to close it in and keep it a den as well. If it's a den, the double doors will be right here against the hallway. If it's a bedroom, they will have the entry be kind of where that closet was. So I'm guessing you would lose this closet and that would be the entry into the bedroom. Coming back down into the hallway, now we're gonna have our dining, living, and kitchen space. So the dining room's not super big, but it has 6 seats, so that's a pretty decent size. And do people even sit at their dining table anymore? Not a lot of people that I know. Here's your beautiful kitchen. Tons of cabinetry in here for the price. This is really, really nice. And you also have the upgraded kitchen. So you have the microwave up top, oven, and then the gas range. The gas is really nice as well. And then it has the little hood right here. It doesn't have the hood that goes all the way to the top, but that may be an option now or in their spec home that they're offering. Here is your pantry space. Amazing size pantry. This is seriously bigger than some of the 3,000 square foot homes that I sell. So that's really nice. And then you have a bedroom back here with the 3-bedroom. I really like that all the bedrooms, like if you pick the standard configuration, I like that the bedrooms are all separated. That's kind of a nice little feature. Tons of natural light in there. Also, I want to go back to the kitchen real quick to point out a couple upgrades that they've included that may not be included in the purchase of a spec home, but they have the pull-out drawers, which is really nice for pots and pans. They don't have, that I'm seeing, a trash can option, but you can always add that on after the fact. And again, just look at all the countertop space. I love this. Sink in the middle so you can look off on to the TV and kind of be a part of the party or the family hangout. Here is the living space, not massive, but this is a smaller couch. It doesn't leave you a ton of walking room right here, but pretty good. And again, for the price, when I tell you guys the price, you guys are going to be like, okay, it makes sense, because it's a really great price here. So you still have space for a little table. You have the space for the credenza setup underneath the TV. Pretty nice. I like it. Then before we go outside, we'll head on into the primary bedroom. Primary bedroom is really nice. It's very like long this way. I don't know if you would rather have it set up like that or have it set up this direction, if that's possible. But this allows you to have the extra chairs, which is cool. Dresser down here. So again, plenty of space in here. And then coming down into the primary bathroom, you have your double sinks over here on the left, your toilet space. Here's the standard walk-in shower option. And most of the homes are going to have what you see here. Here is a nice linen closet. And then here is your actual closet, perfect size. I would say the only thing I would suggest is maybe I would add an additional shelf up top, like how Taylor Morrison does it, just so again, you can maximize the space. But really like this linen closet. I don't see, did I miss any other closets? We saw the one in the front and the linen closet here. But other than that, if you remove this into a bedroom, you may be losing that linen closet. So that's something to keep in mind. The laundry room was massive. Wait, now I'm thinking, maybe they just blocked off the door for the model home, because, am I blind? I didn't see a model home door. So I believe this will be a door into the garage. So you're losing what I was going to say, which is the additional space for storage. If for some reason you cannot have an additional linen closet and you want to make this into a fourth bedroom. So that's just something to keep in mind. I have a house and it does not have that. So let's go ahead and check out the backyard. The lots in this community are actually pretty good size. So that's perfect. Here's your covered patio, not massive, but you still have space for a little dining table. The next two homes are 2 stories. So you guys will see those ones have much larger lots, which is nice. But again, you could totally do a small pool back here if you wanted, or you could keep it simple like they have it. You could still have space for a little kitchenette or something along those lines. Really cute, perfect size backyard for this home. Before we head to the next house, I want to tell you guys the pricing on this. So they do have a spec home available for it. Like I said, they mainly do spec homes. So really the new build option isn't really a true option. So I don't even want to go and talk about the starting prices on these ones, because I think it's honestly irrelevant. It's never going to be the actual price of the starting price, because they don't do new builds here. So something to keep in mind. But this home, as a spec home, it only has the 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it has the gourmet kitchen, white cabinets, oversized walk-in pantry like you guys saw, and then that flex space. It is priced at $430,000, and they have $50,000 flex cash. And what that means is you guys can use that towards paying off your closing costs and then also using the remainder to buy down your rate significantly. So still a really, really great deal. I love to see that. And then that's not even their most affordable home. The 2 stories are going to be a little bit more expensive. So before we head to that one, I'll tell you guys some of the other prices on the smaller homes. So let's say you guys are okay with the smaller floor plan. They have a 1,300 square foot home, and they have a couple different ones of those available, but it looks like the most affordable one is going to be priced at $390,000. So they have one at 390, another one at 390, and they have another one at 395. So if you want to be under that $400,000 price point and be in this like north end of Surprise, that would be a really, really good option. They also have a Madera, which is slightly bigger, and then that one's priced at $405. It's going to be anywhere between the 1,400 square feet to this one, which is 1,900 square feet. So the Madera is 1,600 square feet. Both of those are all three of these single stories are standard 3 bedrooms and 2-car garages. So again, just like this one behind me, you may have the opportunity to change this into the 4th bedroom. I would guess you cannot do that with that first floor plan, the Pima, probably only the Madera and then this one, which is called the Sabino. I quickly want to mention also proximity to things because that's always really important. This area is definitely a little bit further away from things, not extreme. You're about, I don't know, 8 minutes away, maybe less from like a Fry's. You have a Jersey Mike's, McDonald's, Taco Bell. That's really all you need. Just kidding. It's not all you need. But they have a couple little things like that. They have the grocery store. They have a Black Rock, which is like a coffee place here. So quick access to things in regards to that. You're probably another 10 to 15 minutes out. So maybe a total of 20 minutes from all the shopping like Home Goods, Target, CVS, Walgreens. And I'm being a little bit more dramatic for the sake of making sure that I'm super accurate in these. I always like to overestimate rather than underestimate because it's just going to depend on where in this neighborhood you exactly are. You're also going to be probably 15, 20 minutes away from a Trader Joe's if you want to do some more of those like specialty shopping. You're also about 20 minutes away from the Prasada Shopping Center, which is super close to me and my home. So I frequent there quite often, and they have tons of different stuff. They have the Costco, they have a Target right now, things along those lines. So you guys have things quick to you if you think 20, 25 minutes is quick, which some people on my channel definitely do. If you are living in a place where it takes you 30 minutes to get anywhere now, 20 minutes probably sounds absolutely amazing. So if you don't mind that, this is going to be an amazing area for you. But like I mentioned, you do have quick access to things. They're just not everything. And this area is for sure building out. It's absolutely insane. I was literally just talking to a client who just purchased a home in this neighborhood, and I was dropping off his gift and we were just chatting for like an hour and a half, which was super sweet. But anyways, we were both like talking about how we're excited to see how this area grows, and it's so true. It's gonna just grow absolutely massively. And even since I've gotten my license, there was pretty much nothing out here, and now it is a full-blown neighborhood with stores and everything like that. Fry's wasn't even there probably 4 years ago, which is super crazy. And now they're building onto it. They have a Jimmy John's that they just built. They're building like a little hospital. I know they're building a fire department and a police station. They're building a little school out here. It's really going to be the place to be, although the traffic is a little bit annoying. That's kind of the number one complaint I hear about this area. Personally, I really don't think it's that bad. You guys will have to decide for yourselves. And it just depends on what time you leave in the day, right? Like I was out here at 5 o'clock yesterday coming in from the south end of Surprise where I live. It took me 5 minutes to get in here, and I hear people complaining all the time. You would think that that would be prime traffic time because that was, what's today? I think today is Thursday, so that was Wednesday. There would be no reason for there not to be traffic if there was going to be traffic. I didn't think it was that bad. So again, just depends on where you're coming from and your current situation. But in my opinion, not too bad. Also, when you're heading out, have I been in a situation where it's taken a little bit longer? Absolutely. I feel like that's all neighborhoods. There is a train railroad that drives right along Grand, which is probably about 8 minutes away from here. So it's not super close or anything like that, but you may get stopped every once in a while from that. I've come here very, very frequently because I have a lot of clients who have actually moved in this area, and they don't mind it. I've only been stopped probably twice, and they're never super long. It's pretty quick. So not too bad. There's a couple different railroad situations here in the Surprise area. We just want to make sure that it's not like right next to your house, obviously. But if you guys have questions on the location, feel free to reach out to me. My number and email are popping up. I would love to guide you guys through whether or not this area of Surprise is specifically going to be a good fit for you. If you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, there's some more options outside of this area. If you're you're looking for something a little bit closer to things, there's also some really, really great options. And we go over all of that in our Zoom call. So highly suggest you guys set that up, whether you're thinking about moving in 3 months, 6 months, a year. I've helped clients out to 2 years or more before, and I think it's really important to just have that plan together. But let's go ahead and continue on with the tours. Okay, here we are with our next home. Like I mentioned, the next two are gonna be 2 stories. This one's 2,162 square feet. Standard is 3 bedroom, but you can do up to 5 bedrooms on this one. And then again, just a 2-car garage, 2.5 bath, optional 3rd bath, and then you have a loft and a study. So coming in here on the left-hand side, we have our first bedroom, a little bit of a tinier bedroom. It does have your standard 2-door slider. This is great for guests or someone that cannot do stairs. And then you also have a full bathroom, which I'll show you guys here in just a second. Here's your storage under the closet space. We'll go upstairs also just in a second. Here is your garage space to go into your 2-car garage. And then you have your full bathroom. So single sink, executive height cabinets here, upgraded flooring, upgraded quartz countertops. This also has the black hardware, which is really pretty. And they've done standard, the walk-in shower here, which is great, again, for that person that might be using that downstairs bedroom that can't do stairs. So here is the stunning kitchen. I love this kitchen in the cabinet color. Not everyone loves this layout where it's kind of like boom, boom, boom. What do you guys think? Let me know. I don't mind it too much as long as there's enough space. So here you have a nice big sectional, still has space for another chair. Love that. Then you have a 6-seater dining table, which is nice. Here on the right-hand side is going to be your pantry space. A little bit smaller than the previous home. I'm not like crazy about needing a large pantry, but I totally understand if you have a big family, that might be important. Here is the kitchen space. Again, love the cabinet color. Love the countertops. It has a really pretty backsplash. And that would be an option from the 6 different packages that you could pick from, or that spec might already have. But tons of cabinetry, countertop space, gourmet kitchen. So you have the built-in microwave oven and that whole setup. Then you have your island in the middle, not a super big island, but still really nice. Let's check out the backyard before we head upstairs. You guys will see a mass difference in the size of this one compared to our previous one. So first off, you obviously have a lot larger of a covered patio space, which is really nice. And then you can see the house ends here, and that's probably about the midway point of that single story. So you're getting all of this space up to your covered patio extra on the 2-story. That might not be something that matters a lot to you guys, but I know I definitely have some clients that are really into the large backyards. I would prefer a larger backyard. I guess it's hit or miss, depends on my mood. Sometimes I like it, sometimes it's more maintenance. Now that I'm in my gardening era, I love a massive backyard. So with the backyards, it's going to come standard with dirt. You're not gonna have any of this landscaping. You're also going to have solid walls on each side of your property. That comes standard. You guys don't have to worry about paying for that, but you just have to worry about obviously paying for the landscaping to get done. If you guys do not follow me on Instagram, I highly suggest doing that. I have a little highlight reel on there that you guys can check out. And it's basically my backyard and how much I paid for it whenever we bought our new home and moved in about a year ago. So highly suggest looking on there if you're curious on like landscaping ideas and how much everything cost. Once we get upstairs, we have the loft space. This is a really nice size sectional, and they're using it as like a movie room kind of setup, which I love. I think that's really cute. But this could also be the kids' hangout space. It could be, you know, a couple desks up here for kids to do schoolwork or their playroom or whatever, depending on what you and your family are looking for. Upstairs, you also have your laundry space. So this one just has the smaller setup here, no extra shelving up top, which this is gonna be what the standard is. So still very nice, very normal. From the laundry room, we're gonna go to the left of the stairs. The first thing that you're gonna see over here is gonna be your full bathroom. So again, double sinks, all the cabinetry to match. This one's nice because it does have the quartz countertops, unlike that previous home that we were at. And again, as we mentioned in the bathroom down below, it has the black hardware, which is nice. This one has a tub shower combo, which is going to be more of your standard. I have been in this floor plan many times before, and I do see that they put that walk-in shower in the bottom bedroom a lot of the time. So that's really nice, but you still have a tub upstairs for anyone that has littles. And then after that, you have your next bedroom. So this is going to be our second bedroom, first one upstairs. Really great size. You have one more bedroom. This one has also standard closet set up. And then now we're walking into the primary. So the primary is right across from the other two bedrooms. If that's going to be bothersome to you, just something to keep in mind. Great size primary bedroom, zero complaints at all. And then you walk into your bathroom. Love how open this bathroom is. The other one was definitely a little bit tighter. Toilet space, you have your walk-in shower. Like I mentioned, that's going to be standard. There's not a tub shower option at this builder. And then you're going to have a linen closet here, your double sinks, no drawers or anything, just cabinetry, but you could always add additional shelving below. And then here is your closet space. Really nice. I'm going to pop up over to this window just so you guys can kind of see what's going on around here. So there's two builders in here right now. And this is towards the end of the community over here in like that north end of Surprise. I'll pop up a map so you guys know exactly where we are today, but you're definitely going to get some really great affordable options if you opt to be kind of in that further north end versus, let's say, a community that you're closer to the, freeway or Grand or the 303. Anything that you move further away from quote unquote stuff, you're going to get a quote unquote better deal. So these have been here for a little bit of time, and I would guess they are eager to get these sold. So when they are eager to sell stuff, we'll have better opportunity. Like I mentioned, getting the blinds, washer, dryer, fridge, even a backyard landscaping package, you never know. And before we head into this last home, I forgot to mention they don't have any spec homes of that previous 2-story, but they do have some ideal pricing if they end up having a spec home in the future, which I'm sure that they will. And the pricing for that's going to be right around $450, give or take. It'll just depend on when the home is available, where it's located, what package it has, all that fun stuff. And lastly, we have our Aspen floor plan. This one is going to be a spec home available for $475. It is 2,624 square feet, 2-car garage, 5 bedrooms, and 3 baths. Okay, right when you walk in, you have your hallway entrance. This is going to be your 2-car garage. On the left-hand side, you're gonna have your first bedroom. This one is definitely larger than the previous 2-story that we went into, that front bedroom. So that's nice if you're looking for something bigger. Obviously, this home is slightly larger than that previous one, period. So, and it has a fairly similar layout. So front bedroom, garage. Now we have our full bathroom. Again, a nice walk-in shower, single sink over here. Then you have your living space, awesome size living room, plenty of space in here. Slightly different when it comes to this layout. Obviously, we're kind of doing like an L-shaped versus before it was a straight line. So if you're into this kind of layout, this would be great for you. This one does have an 8-seater table, so the dining room is definitely larger as well. Just a little bit more open space to kind of walk around versus the previous one. Here is the kitchen setup. Very similar layout, slightly larger island here, gourmet kitchen still, so that's really nice. You have beautiful upper cabinets, 42-inch, which is cool as well. Pretty color. Also, this one has the upgraded hood, so that's nice. It definitely also has the pull-out drawers for the pots and pans, as you see here. None for the trash can, but again, you guys can always add that. And then you're also going to have your pantry space over here. Not super big at all. So if you're looking for a larger pantry, this is definitely something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead again and check out that backyard just so you guys can get a feel for it. If you're thinking about it, just like the first home, single story, you're gonna have a smaller backyard. Then you go into your 2-story option. This 2-story is slightly smaller. So again, you're going to have a little bit bigger of a backyard. This 2-story is slightly larger. So you're gonna have slightly smaller of a backyard, but when we're talking about in the grand scheme of things, how it all works, single stories, not always, but a lot of the times they're gonna have a little bit of a smaller backyard just because, you have a way wider product and longer product versus being more height-wise, like vertical. So here's your backyard. Everything back here will be dirt, including no pavers up here. This will just be concrete. When you guys have your landscaper come out, they can hook up to the irrigation in the front. All homes do come with irrigation typically. And then you'll have a spot where they can irrigate to the backyard and then also add turf or pavers or the little, kitchenette, whatever. make sense for you guys, but there's options, especially with that size. Right when you walk upstairs, again, you have your laundry space. This one is going to be more standard, a little bit more upgraded because it does have the cabinets over here in this corner. And then you have your loft. This loft is probably double the size of the previous loft. So if you're looking for a really big hangout space upstairs, this would be a great option. It even has this little nook over here for some kid tables and whatnot. So you could definitely use this for multiple purposes. As you see, they have a little desk there as well. Coming to the other side of the stairs, we have our second bedroom, decent sized bedroom, not super big. Standard 2-door slider closet. Coming down the hall, on the left-hand side, we have our next bedroom, a little bit bigger, so that's nice. This is just probably a full bed, and you could probably squeeze a queen in there, like that has the dresser space and also the desk space. Here is our next bedroom, good sized bedroom again. So that's really nice. This one definitely has the biggest bedrooms. Here is our full bathroom. Love the cute little makeup vanity. I love that. That is so sweet. I never see those. Here is double sinks, toilet space, classic tub shower combo. And then you have your primary bedroom. Great size primary still, very similar to the previous ones. Here is our bathroom. I get asked all the time, why doesn't this have a door? This is very standard in Arizona. Majority of the homes you see are gonna be like this. You can opt to upgrade it after closing, or sometimes the builders will have the option to upgrade it at design. But this is majority of the time. This one's nice. Okay, so it does have the tub shower option in this one. So that's cool. It is kind of a smaller tub. It's not very deep. So depending on what you like for tubs, that might or may not work out for you. This one's definitely more upgraded. It has tile versus the other ones had that cultured marble look. Here is our double sinks, toilet space. That does have a door. And then you have your closet space. This one will definitely be the largest closet as well. Something to note about this one and the previous 2-story is the guest bedrooms or kids' bedrooms. They are all fairly close to the primary bedroom. I know some people that's not gonna matter. In fact, they're gonna love it because they have littles and they wanna be able to get closer to them and get to them quickly if needed. This would be perfect for you, but if you have maybe some teenagers or something along those lines, you may or may not like that your primary bedroom is super close to them. Another thing I wanted to mention is the HOA is really low here. So it's $90. I think it's actually about 85 bucks. So super low. Not a lot of costs. Some of these HOAs are just getting absolutely crazy. Obviously, it all depends on what they're offering, right? So if they have the pool, if they have the pickleball, and they have the whole 9 yards, I could see me paying a little bit more. My community also has a community pool. It has a gym. So I'm willing to pay something a little bit more expensive for those things. If you're looking for communities with amenities, at the end of this video, I'm going to tag my video so you guys can watch that. It's 3 neighborhoods in Surprise. I would highly suggest if you're looking for community pools, pickleball, gyms. I think 2 out of those have gyms, and then 2 out of those have pickleball, and they all have pools. So highly suggest watching that video when you guys are done here. Make sure you subscribe. I post videos every Monday at 5 p.m. And if you're interested in relocating to Arizona and you don't know where to start, it can definitely be scary. Don't be scared. That's literally why I'm here and why you're probably watching these videos. So go ahead and reach out to me. My number and email are popping up, as well as my QR code. I have tons of information to give you guys just to guide you, even if it's just to put a plan together for a year from now, 2 years from now. Doesn't matter to me. I just want you guys to have a plan put in place. So I highly suggest that Zoom call. And then also on my little QR code, I have a relocation guide. You guys can feel free to download that. And I also have a new listing in Goodyear coming up where you guys can check out the photos for that and ask any questions if you have any. But until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.